On Boxing Day, Sean Goda's goal left Joe Royle with a huge grin, and City back on top thanks to 2 wins on the spin. Huddersfield dropped to second. Steve Bruce's side drew at Crewe. And that enabled Charlton to close the gap on them. Their SAS-trained hitman Martin Pringle with a strike that kept Alan Kirbishley's Addicts in the thick of the automatic promotion fight. And today at the hugely impressive McAlpine Stadium, second place third in a fitting finale to live First Division football in the 20th century. It is the toughest place to visit throughout the country. In 12 league games at the McAlpine this season, Huddersfield have won 10 and drawn the other 2. They've scored 32 goals in the process and proudly boast the best home record in the country. You have to go back to April for their last defeat here. But Charlton arrived with the second best away record in the division, and they've scored more goals on their travels than anyone else this season. Live on Sky Sports 3 and interactive for Sky Digital viewers on Sky Sports Extra, it's Huddersfield looking to go back to the top against Charlton Athletic. Good morning. Manchester City supporters may disagree, but Huddersfield and Charlton are arguably the 2 best footballing teams in the First Division. The former Huddersfield manager Peter Jackson is with us for this one, alongside Nigel Spatman. Peter, do we have the 2 best footballing teams in the division?
Yeah, I think so. Obviously, at the start of the season, I think everybody's choice for the Championship is either Blackburn or Charlton. I think Huddersfield's been a surprise team this season. And on the day, they're both fantastic teams, scored lots of goals. I think Charlton have scored 40 goals, Huddersfield's 43 goals. So they're bagging the goals and getting the points. And
at home, in particular, Huddersfield are a real proposition, aren't they?
Yeah, they're doing fantastic, yeah. I think the last home defeat was back in April, so any side that's got to win a championship or do well has to have a good home record. Huddersfield have got that.
The only downside, Peter, has been the attendances at the McAlpine. Despite their good form, they're, what, averaging 14,000?
14,000. It'd be interesting to see the crowd today, with it being a bank holiday, but the crowds have been disappointed at the McAlpine, yeah.
Was that something that you noticed when you were in charge?
Yeah, when we went top last year, we were only getting crowds 13 or 14,000, so, you know, it'd be interesting to see, as I say, the crowd today.
Room for improvement. Charlton's recent form hasn't been so hot, has it, Nigel?
No, only 2 wins in the last 7, Marcus, and struggling at home, really. Their away form is very good. 11 points out of a possible 15, so they're going well away from home, and only Man City have a better record away from home. You know, but today I fancy them here today. Huddersfield obviously unbeaten all season at home. It's a good one for Charlton to go there and play their attractive football, maybe cause an upset.
And looking ahead to the rest of the season, they have got the know-how, haven't they? Because of course they did it a couple of years ago.
They've got the know-how, but they've also got a very strong squad. And that's what you need to get out of this division. There's so many games, you need a good strong squad, and they've got a good strong squad. Blackburn have got a good strong squad. Man City have. Huddersfield have as well. They've got a lot of injuries and they're sticking in there, so it's all to play for at the moment.
Excellent. OK, let us now look back at the Boxing Day goals from, what, a couple of days ago. We'll start with our live game, which was at the Hawthorns, West Brom, against Manchester. Back on top, of course, if Huddersfield won later that afternoon, they'd have gone back to the top. They were at Crewe, and it finished 1-1. Not a bad result for Huddersfield, bearing in mind Crewe's recent form, Peter. 10 points from their last 5 games.
Yeah, but good ball in there by Jamie Vincent, laid back to Chris Beech, who just really strokes it past the keeper and gave him no chance in the bottom corner. But a good finish by Beech. I think he's got 8 or 9 goals already this season from midfield.
Interesting first touch here from Marcus Stewart, isn't it?
Yeah. I think he was going for goal there, but just got under his foot. But as I say, he just rolled it back to Chris Beech, who just side foot into the side of the goal.
Recovered well, but after 63 minutes, Colin Little popped up with his 8th of the season.
Yeah, disappointing really. You look at that there, the defending there, there's 5 or 6 Huddersfield defenders, and Little's there by himself, so Steve will be disappointed that you know, they've got a break like that.
Charlton were at home to Crystal Palace, Nigel, and got off to the worst possible start.
Yeah, as I said, they've been struggling at home, Marcus, and this was a bad start for them once again against Crystal Palace, London derby. But they bounced back. Mark Kinsella, lovely ball through. Hunt gets a shot in, and there's John Salako getting his 2nd for Charlton. and enjoying that good celebration.
And good to see him fully fit again, isn't it?
Good to see him fit again.
A minute later, they got the winner. Martin Pringle, we've been reading about his SAS training, and he was the hitman all right on Sunday.
Yeah. Hunt and Brown play a nice 1-2. And there he is in the danger area. And he's only scored 2. That was only his second of the season for Charlton.
In all competitions, no changes at the foot of the table, with none of the bottom 3 winning. Sheffield United, the big movers, up 5 to 16th. Bolton's game against Port Vale was postponed, and as a result of that, they have slipped back to 14th. Wolves and Birmingham are drifting out of the playoff picture. Queen's Park Rangers down to 10th behind Blackburn, and Norwich up to a season's high 8th. There's a 4-point gap between Fulham and Stockport in 6th. Charlton start the day 3rd, 44 points from 23 games, an identical position to 2 years ago when they went on to win the playoff final, of course. Their goal difference plus 15, Huddersfield's plus 19. Manchester City back on top after their win in Sunday's live game. OK, let us get all the team news from this afternoon's live game at the McAlpine with Alan Bentley.
Thank you, Marcus. Flew again the order of the day. Although David May was close to playing, he tweaked a hamstring against Crewe the other day. He has had a fitness test, but Steve Bruce has decided not to risk him. More on that flu problem, though, as we go through the team news. Starting with Huddersfield Town. And really, it's a case of survival of the fittest for both clubs at the moment. 2 changes, though, for Huddersfield. 12, Ben Thornley, who's just recovered from flu. He replaces number 10, Scott Sellars, who drops to the bench. And 6, Kevin Gray, comes in for David May. Captain Kenny Irons at 8 is another under the weather, but Steve Bruce has taken the gamble on starting with him. He doesn't know how long he will last. And up front, 9, Marcus Stewart, and 11, Clyde Wijnhard. 25 goals already for them. In the engine room, well, 22, Chris Beech. He also provides a real goal-scoring threat. As we've seen, he scored at Crewe on Boxing Day to make it 7 so far this season, including the winner at Main Road, really relishing the chance he's got after spells at Blackpool and Hartlepool. 40, Dean Gorre, comes from more salubrious surroundings. He's played for the likes of Feyenoord and Ajax. Indeed, he scored in the Champions League for Ajax 13 months ago, and it's 4 this season for him. As for Charlton Athletic, well, their flu victims are Graham Stewart and Clive Mendonca, who's lost half a stone in 5 days, I wish. 2 changes again, 11, John Robinson for 34, John Salako, and 16, Greg Shields for 12, Steve Brown. Of course, a number of these featured in that dramatic playoff win over Sunderland, which incidentally is on Best on Sky tonight, including number 5, Richard Rufus, who scored his first career goal that day. The real hero, though, was keeper Sasa Ilic, but he's only on the bench. Instead, it's Dean Kiely, a £1 million summer signing from Bury in goal. Despite Bury going down, he kept 19 clean sheets, and his efforts were recognised with the first cap for Ireland recently against Turkey. Good record too for saving penalties. Another Irishman is 8, Mark Kinsella, an ever present in the Premiership last season. In fact, he's missed only 5 games in 3 years, real Mr. Consistency, and he signed a 5-year contract in the summer. That's the team news, Marcus. I suppose the big question, how long will Kenny Irons last? Back to you.
We shall see. 12 o'clock kick-off today. It's, of course, a full programme in the First Division. Barnsley are at home to Port Vale. Most of these kicking off at 3 o'clock. Bolton against West Brom's a 1 o'clock start. Crystal Palace Walsall. Ipswich against Stockport, 4th v 6th. The leaders Manchester City against Grimsby today. Forest Birmingham, that's a 1 o'clock start. Portsmouth Blackburn, QPR against Crewe. Sheffield United and Fulham. Will that be another goal of straw? Tranmere against the bottom club Swindon. And Wolves against Norwich. Let us hear from the Charlton manager. Alan Kirbishley is now talking to Alan Bentley.
Alan, I remember 2 years ago you were a bit miffed at having a long trip to Sheffield United after a game in London. Same feelings today?
Well, I've just reminded the players of that. You know, we came up yesterday afternoon. You know, the only complaint we've got about the game is that our fans can't get here. It's a bit harsh on them. You know, they're going to have to leave at 5:30 this morning. I'm sure some will make it. But other than that, we just get on with it. What about today? Is this one of the key games of the season, do you think? Well, I think that, you know, we attack every game in the same way, and we will do today. We're playing well. The last 5 or 6 games, we haven't got the points we deserve, but we've been playing well. If they play well today and give me a chance of winning something, I'll be happy with that. Is it a game you have to win? I mean, if you lose, for argument's sake, you're suddenly 6 behind Huddersfield, aren't you? Yeah, but we was 6 in front of Ipswich and they were 6 in front of us, and there's a long way to go. And I think the teams what are there at the moment, there's a few managers, you know, I'm looking at Joe Royal and George Burley, Dave Bassett, and not so much Brucey, it's a new thing for him at the moment, but perhaps we've been there before. And we all know that normally it goes right to the end, and I don't see this one being any different in terms that you know, the sides up there look quite strong, and there's a few behind us that are desperate to get in there. So, you know, it'll go right till the end, and perhaps it's a situation where you put a run together at the end, pushes you clear. But obviously, if we lose today and Man City win, then there's a little gap. But we don't want that to happen.
Thanks a lot, Alan. Cheers.
He's a wily campaigner. Fair point, though, about the Charlton supporters. It's a long way to go for a 12 o'clock start, isn't it?
Very long way. 2 years ago, they came to Sheffield United when I was manager. We luckily beat them 4-1 on Sky, and it was a long way. Their fans didn't turn up that day, and it is asking a lot of fans, especially this time of year, to travel up to Huddersfield. I mean, it's from London, really. It's 3.5 hours to do it sensibly, and you know, it's not fair on them. And I think maybe they should look at this sort of type of thing. There's plenty of games. You know, they play Crystal Palace. There's Fulham. You know, it should be closer to home.
Well, we hope if you are a Charlton supporter, you thoroughly enjoy our coverage, even if you can't be at the ground. Let's hear from Steve Bruce now. He's talking with Alan.
Steve, the top scorers at home against the top scorers away. What can we expect today?
Well, certainly we expect a very, very tough game. You know, Charlton are one of the better sides in the division. Top of the table clash. So it has all the ingredients. So let's just hope both sides can go and produce a good game.
You've beaten Barnsley here, Ipswich here, you've beaten Man City away. How important is it to beat your rivals?
Well, of course, if you can beat the top ones, then it always gives you that little bit of a comfort zone, doesn't it? But we'll be under no illusions today. It's going to be a really, really tough game. It's probably as tough as they come for us all season. You know, we've got 1 or 2 missing, got a bit of flu around the place, but we'll just have to get on with it. Everybody else is the same, so we're expecting a tough challenge.
Now, much has been made of your goal-scoring prowess, but since Chris Leketti's injury, you've conceded 9 in 13 league games. Does that suggest, A, you've got a squad now, and B, that you've got a pattern of play that players can slot into?
Well, the one thing we worked on since I came in the summer was obviously defensively. Defensively, I'm a believer that if you don't get it right back there, you're not going to achieve anything. And when you consider, I think they conceded something like 78 goals last year, which is an awful lot amount of goals. So one thing we had to do was address that situation quickly. That's why I brought in the people like Leketti and Ken Monkow to try and stiffen us up a bit. And it's fair to say the other lads have adapted to it.
And just in a word, if you do win today, suddenly there's a bit of breathing space between you and Charlton, isn't there?
Well, there's a little breathing space between us, yeah, but it would be nice if we could. We've got a terrific home record. Let's hope we can continue it on.
Thanks, Steve. Cheers.
Thanks.
He certainly seems to be enjoying himself. Has he got a strong enough squad now? As he said, they're missing a couple this afternoon.
Yeah, they are missing a couple, but the people that have come in have done well for them. Kevin Gray and Dyson have come in, done extremely well. They've signed May, but unfortunately he's out with hamstring. But as I've said before, the thing with Huddersfield now, they've got money to strengthen as well. I reckon if over the next couple of weeks, I reckon there'll be more signings at McAlpine, because Mr. Rubery, the owner, will invest in the club if they're in a good position.
Yeah, it's a good position to be in.
That's a good position, yeah.
Briefly, I want predictions from the two of you, our final game of the century.
I think it's got to be a close game, but I'm going for Huddersfield home win.
Nigel?
I think it's got all the makings of a Charlton away win because of unbeaten Huddersfield.
Oh, you're a brave man.
Brave man today.
Well, if you are a Sky Digital viewer, don't forget interactive coverage is available on Sky Sports Extra, channel 404. Just press the red button to become active. Once you've done that, a menu will appear at the bottom of your screen, and that gives you a number of options. Today, 3 different camera angles are available. Simply go to the cameras option and then press the select button. You'll then have the choice of watching the game from 3 viewpoints, as you can see in the bottom left-hand corner of the screen. For example, by pressing the yellow button, you'll be able to watch the game from that camera's perspective. Well, it promises much, and our match commentators, as always, are Alan Brazil and Rob Hawthorne.
And the Millennium Bug already seems to have struck 4 football clubs around the country, with a particularly virulent strain of the flu wreaking havoc in the end-of-year plans for managers right across the country. Fortunately for Steve Bruce, the worst cases appear to have cleared up, allowing Kevin Gray and Ben Thornley, who both missed the 1-1 draw at Crewe on Boxing Day, to play today. But Kenny Irons and Chris Beech, who are also playing, have suffered the debilitating effects. The most savage blow, however, to Bruce's plans occurred in the form of a hamstring injury to David May, who, despite a late fitness test, misses out on a home debut following his loan signing from Manchester United.
4-4-2, and you heard Steve Bruce, how important, under no illusions, how difficult and hard this game this afternoon will be. Vaesen in goal, the back 4, Jenkins, Gray, Armstrong and Jimmy Vincent, and the 4 across the midfield, Dean Gorre, classy, And the two in the middle, I think, are going to have a great battle, Kinsella and Jones, Kenny Irons and Chris Beech. Thornley, width on the left-hand side, and up front, impressive Marcus Stewart and Clyde Wijnhard.
The flu bug has left Charlton manager Alan Kirbishley with restricted options in attack. Clive Mendonca, Graham Stewart and young Mark McCammon are all ruled out. So Martin Pringle, who scored in Sunday's 2-1 win against Crystal Palace, starts alongside Andy Hunt. The other Boxing Day scorer, John Salako, is on the bench, with John Robinson preferred to him. And the other change is at the back, where Greg Shields comes in to take the place of Steve Brown.
And the same for Alan Kirbishley, 4-4-2. Bright manager Alan Kirbishley. Kiely in goal, Shields, Youds, Rufus and Powell. Good experience there with Youds, Rufus and Powell. 4 across the midfield, width on the right with Newton, pace, and then this battle that I'm looking forward to, Jones and Kinsella. Jones tough, Kinsella the playmaker, and Robinson width on the left-hand side. Up front, Hunt, good in there, good hold-up player, and a very, very energetic 100% in Pringle.
Festive dress from the Charlton fans, who've over the years seen their team compete in some pretty dramatic games. Indeed, the playoff final against Sunderland, which is being relived on Sky later today, figured prominently when the newspaper Sport First asked its readers to nominate their game of the century. But actually the top prize went to a reader who nominated a Charlton against Huddersfield fixture at the Valley back in December 1957, when Charlton, apparently down to 10 men because of an injury in the days before substitutes, came back from 5-1 down to win 7-6 with 5 goals from a player called Johnny Summers. So I'm sure that sort of entertainment today wouldn't go amiss. It's a bright, clear day at the McAlpine Stadium, and despite the frost in the surrounding areas, the pitch is looking in elegant condition. Charlton hoping to make it 6 points out of 6 over this holiday weekend. Their visit here to Huddersfield coming up live for you after the break.
Well, Charlton have won 6 and lost only 1 of the last 8 against Huddersfield. How they'd love to stretch that record today. Let's rejoin our match commentators, Alan Brazil and Rob Hawthorne.
Well, anyone who doubts that managers make a difference need only look at the top end of the First Division. Some pretty familiar names there, likes of Joe Royle, George Burley, Dave Bassett, and of course Alan Kirbishley, who led Charlton to success in this division just 2 seasons ago. But there are some new kids on the block, as well as Andy Kilner, who's in the top 6 with Stockport. Steve Bruce here is in only his 2nd season in management, just chatting there with his chairman Ian Eyre, and he's established his credentials pretty quickly after his 1 full season with Sheffield United, and he's quickly settled down to life here at the McAlpine Stadium, and quite an end to the year it will be if Huddersfield manage to establish themselves at the top of the division. John Brandwood is the match official, and Charlton will kick off, as indeed they did on Boxing Day, and yet they still found themselves a goal down in the 1st minute of the match, so they're hoping that there'll be no repeat of that today as Keith Jones finds Chris Powell. He's looking for Andy Hunt, who gets the touch ahead of Kevin Gray, who was one of Huddersfield's flu victims for the Boxing Day fixture. To take the throw in. Eddie Youds noticeably has come forward from the back. Kinsella had offered him a short option. Cleared by the head of Jenkins. Wijnhard claiming that he'd been caught by Kinsella, but the referee unimpressed. Jenkins just shutting off the service to John Robinson there. Youds had stayed forward for the throw.
I think we should see a good attacking game here. You know, both sides have got width. Gorre on the right for Huddersfield, and Thornley, and also, you know, for Charlton, Robinson and Newton both like to fly, hug the touchline.
Actually, an area where Charlton are now well served, enabling them to leave out John Salako, who's among the substitutes today. Clearing header was by Gray, knocked back in there by Youds, on from Pringle, and that was a vital touch away from Jamie Vincent. Here's Gorre. Header away by Richard Rufus. Hunt. Now Kinsella, the midfield general. Charlton missed him recently when he was suspended for the match against Queen's Park Rangers. Greg Shields, who played in that game at Loftus Road but missed the Boxing Day fixture. Andy Hunt. Kinsella picking out Powell. Headed into the back of Pringle.
It's a great start from Charlton, pushing Huddersfield back. Good, lively, sharp to the ball.
Jones helping it through to Hunt. And a good effort from Robinson, which is turned away by Vaesen. Noted for his good sharp reactions, the Huddersfield goalkeeper, and he had to get down quickly then. Foot of Kinsella seemed to be a little high.
Yeah, well, that was a fine save, Rob, so early in the game. I was just saying, what a good sharp start for Charlton Athletic. And suddenly Robinson steals in. Good, good little spell of passing, right foot low. And Vaesen down, left-hand side. Good stop with his left hand.
Here's Gorre. Headed away by Rufus, but given away by Kinsella to Stewart. And this is Ben Thornley. Stewart and Wijnhard joined in the box by Beech. Thornley making the opening for himself.
It's unlucky Charlton had doubled up on him there, forcing Thornley inside on his right foot. Didn't really look, just took a chance. Couldn't find a fellow player.
Hunt. Back from Beech. It's fallen for Pringle. Now Robinson, who gave Vaesen his first serious test of the afternoon. Jones to Youds. This is Powell. Crosses by Robinson. Cleared by Kevin Gray. Kinsella. Vincent attempting to deal with it. Pringle though is strong. Given away by Gray. Robinson. Powell, Beech, hooking it away to Jamie Vincent. Thornley up ahead of him. Vincent again. Stewart. Space here for Irons to operate in.
It's excellent from Stewart there. Great touch, great awareness.
Here's Dean Gorre. Jenkins. Challenged by Robinson, and Charlton get the throw. Charlton unbeaten in their last 5 away matches, a sequence that's included 3 victories. Came into Christmas as the only team apart from Manchester City to have recorded 5 victories on their travels. City of course recorded a 6th at the Hawthorns on Boxing Day.
Well, Huddersfield have definitely been a little bit rattled with the start from Charlton. Very, very comfortable on the ball, finding their men at ease. And Alan Curbishley, that's the type of start he's looking for, putting Vaesen under pressure almost immediately from the start.
Huddersfield have yet to suffer a league defeat here since Steve Bruce took over. They've won 10 of their 12 league fixtures, indeed the only occasions on which they've been beaten at the McAlpine Stadium since Steve Bruce took charge was by Premiership opposition in the 2 cup competitions. Kenny Irons.
Charlton just got himself a little bit square there. Wijnhard was trying to sneak in. Fortunately for him, the ball wide was misplaced.
Eddie Youds. This is Shields. Flick-ons by Martin Pringle.
Pringle's got a bit of aggression about him, and he can, he wins flick-ons, and that's what Hunt will be trying to feed off him. So it's going to be a good battle. Gray is tough. His old boots back there, as is Armstrong. It's a good match.
Hunt. Jones. Kinsella to Powell. Now Pringle. Mark Kinsella.
A shame about the final ball for Kinsella, but this is lovely passing on the London side. Robinson been involved on the left-hand side. Kinsella's annoyed with himself. Normally superb, accurate passer.
Nico Vaesen, who's dealt well with the one serious threat to his goal so far from Robinson. We'll look for his own man Stewart, perhaps from the clearance. Stewart gets there, finds Kenny Irons. Now Robinson. Armstrong, seeing that the route back to his own goal was cut off by Andy Hunt.
It's good work from Hunt there, cutting off the back pass.
Touch from Hunt.
Well, the better side early on, just almost 8 minutes gone. It has to be Charlton. More inventiveness, passing the ball well, the running off the ball superb as well.
In a marked contrast to their start 2 days ago when they were a goal down already at this stage of the game. Back in there from Kinsella, and sometimes the question marks against Vaesen are the way that he deals with crosses. He's already shown what a good shot stopper he is. Gorre here finding Wijnhard.
A little bit slow there, Wijnhard. Eddie Youds is not the quickest, getting back on him.
Here's Newton. Shields. Towards Jones, it sold him short though, and Beech was in there tackling tenaciously. This is Hunt looking to feed Pringle. It was a good interception that by Vincent.
I don't think Keith Jones was too happy with that ball from his fullback. It gave Beech a chance to really go in, showing his studs.
Rufus. Kinsella. Pringle. Now Newton. Trying to get away from Gray, and Hunt was in there.
Once again, the threat is there. Starts off with Pringle's strength. Then Newton gets wide. This is good strength. Newton will always, well, not always, but 9 times out of 10 come on his right foot. Hunt is dangerous in the air. Just can't get his head around the ball enough. But again, threat to Vaesen's goal. Good play again from Charlton Athletic. And that's unlucky.
Without a goal in his last 8 matches, Andy Hunt must be due one, and certainly the way that Charlton have started this game, they seem the likeliest of the two sides to open the scoring.
Pringle combining there with Sean Newton, and he will be a threat down this right hand side. I'm saying in 9 times out of 10 Rob goes on his right foot. I remember once he come inside against Ipswich, I think that was a playoff semi. What a goal on his left foot.
Indeed, the goal in the second leg that secured Charlton's Wembley place and that dramatic final against Sunderland. Sean Newton, part of the rich seam of young talent that they've brought through the ranks at the Valley, and on the evidence of other emerging players like Scott Parker and Paul Konchesky, there are plenty more to come.
It's not often you see Kenny Irons and Beech getting outplayed in the middle, but that's happening early on in this match. Jones and Kinsella, big game players.
Irons and Beech have been 2 of the worst hit by the flu bug, so it may have been something of a gamble to play them. This is Ben Thornley, who shrugged off the effects, reacting angrily to the pressure there of Jones. And still a verbal confrontation between the pair of them.
See Newton just getting caught there. Still feeling the effects of that challenge from behind.
movement of Wijnhard so far has been wasted because Thornley is still tying his lace. Now the kick is taken, and it's Vincent who gets it across. What a great delivery it was too, and it broke unluckily off Wijnhard.
I thought there was a push, Rob. I thought Gray's all over Eddie Youds here. It's a great delivery, but look at Youds. Surely there's a bit of pushing going on there. Just ball in the box. You can see suddenly Youds in front of the ball, and Gray for me shoving.
Youds. Played off by Hunt to Robinson. Welsh international against Welsh international as he takes on Jenkins and delivers the cross. Pringle with a header, and it was straight at the goalkeeper. Well,
that should have been 1-0. What a great ball from Robinson. Pringle should have buried that. That's the best chance of the match. That's a let-off for Huddersfield.
This is Thornley breaking. Gray, Hunt, and Newton this time has managed to barge his way past Vincent. The angle was difficult. Vincent made the challenge, and a successful one it was too.
Well, we spoke earlier about Newton. Sean Newton loves to be on his right foot. For me, he should have got across the full back here. I think there's contact. I think there's claims for a penalty there. He doesn't get the ball, Vincent. Struggling to get back. Watch this, just clips his heel. That for me is a penalty kick.
Robinson here gets it across, and the header away by Wijnhard.
Huddersfield under pressure again, really under the cosh, and the chances going the visitors' way. And what a chance for Pringle. I just feel if this was Hunt, it's a goal. Great work from Robinson, perfect ball. Look, he's only 7 yards out, straight at Vaesen.
Sellars corner. Too much pressure on Vaesen by Eddie Youds. Surprised really at the apparent lack of protest from Charlton over the penalty.
Well, for
appeal.
me, Vincent was never going to catch Newton, but watch Newton from what he should have done was got across him on his left foot, because he'd have made a better angle. But look, there's definitely a clip there. Doesn't get anywhere near the ball. Surely that's a penalty kick.
Verdict going against Alan Kirbishley's side though, but he will be delighted, I'm sure, with the first quarter of an hour from his team's perspective. Doesn't seem to be getting the greatest view of the game with the sun shining straight into his eyes, but what he has been able to see is his team as the dominant attacking force so far, as the statistics show.
That's been a tremendous start for Charlton, but Charlton fans at home watching it were saying, no, we should be 1, maybe 2 up.
Stark contrast to the Christmas hangover they suffered against Crystal Palace. They did recover well to win it 2-1.
Powell's angry with that decision on the left-hand side.
Here's Powell. Now Pringle. This is Andy Hunt. Pringle. He's only scored twice so far this season.
That's better from Beech. Just shaking his head there, Chris Beech. I just wonder, is he suffering? Is this flu bug? Well, most of us have had it. Some of us have still got it, but it must be terrible trying to perform in a high-level game such as this if you're under par.
Well, he got off his sick bed 2 days ago to score in the 1-1 draw at Crewe. Did Chris Beech. Armstrong. Gorre. There's Wijnhard.
They're just having a little tussle, these two now. Eddie Youds with all his experience. This guy's strong. There's a touch of arrogance about Wijnhard.
Kinsella. Robinson. All right. Kinsella.
Steve Wilson wanting a bit more. Two quality strikers, they're just not getting the service to them. And again, Wijnhard and Youds, a little tussle off the ball.
Well, they've dropped only 4 points here this season of Huddersfield. But Gray has lost possession here to Andy Hunt. But Gray rather atones for his earlier error.
A little bit disappointing from Hunt there because Newton was up there looking for a little cutback. But suddenly it's 2 against 1. Huddersfield get back. Newton's in support. But this is a nothing ball. He's just trying to feel for his strike partner.
Still a promising position for them though with the corner. Kinsella, the taker, finds Robinson.
Vaesen so far has dealt with all the crosses. He's a big lad. Should be able to.
Wijnhard, Jenkins. Wijnhard slotting in at right back, looking for Thornley or Stewart. Header away those by Kinsella. Given away by Vincent this time. There's some real sluggishness in the Huddersfield ranks. Conceded possession rather too cheaply on 1 or 2 occasions, but now Gorre has a chance to lift the crowd with an excellent break. He can't find the finish to match.
Yeah, he is exciting, this fella. Ex-Ajax, lovely little skip. Now he's looking for some movement, but Wijnhard tries to peel away and let Stewart come in, but both strikers in the same area. Gorre had no option but to strike.
We've been speculating as to who might be feeling worse from the effects of the bug. Kevin Gray, who was absent 2 days ago, has been substituted already, and John Dyson is coming on to take his place. Dyson, who was introduced as a substitute for the injured David May, coming on this time for Kevin Gray. And it is the effects of the flu bug that's forced Steve Bruce to make that defensive change so early. I think Kevin Gray enjoys this date of in the 2-1 defeat by Sheffield United, and today he gets taken off in the first 20 minutes.
Sometimes you have to be honest in football, and if that, at the end of the day, if Gray realises he's struggling, just get off. It's the proper decision. It's not, you're not cheating, you're not a coward. Get off if you're not right.
Holding off Craig Armstrong.
Well, I suppose from Steve Bruce and Huddersfield's point of view, under the cosh, almost 20 minutes gone, but still level. Very important, especially with the firepower up front.
Dyson under pressure from Pringle. Armstrong with a header away. This is Robinson. Nice touch from Robinson to Powell. And he's pulled it back, Hunt free! Oh. And another spurned opportunity for Charlton. Can they really afford to be missing these chances?
They're really mixed up at the back, Huddersfield, but Hunt peels away. Look at the time he's got. And you're talking about just keep it, hit the target, keep it low. Just lean slightly back on contact. And that's another one gone missing.
Well, Alan Kirbishley reflecting on just how they might pay for this profligacy. Andy Hunt lashing that one over.
Without a doubt, Rob, that's what he's thinking there. He's thinking, crikey, we're pulling them apart, we're splitting them anytime we want. Why are we still 0-0? Will we pay?
Here's Stewart. Now Thornley. Shields trying to force him into a corner. Cross cleared by Kinsella. This is Pringle.
I think that's been the difference, Rob. The two wide players from Charlton, and Robinson and Newton have been excellent, creating chances and gaining chances themselves, whereas Gorre has had one shot, but Thornley hasn't really been in it much.
Here is Thornley. Cleared by Rufus. Thornley, who up until his absence a couple of days ago, was enjoying his best run in the team under Steve Bruce. Beech. Shields. Pringle's touch. Jones. Had he been able to force it through to Robinson, there could have been problems. Kinsella eventually has found Robinson. Hunt and Pringle are waiting in the middle. He's done well, Robinson, initially. Hunt coming back to take it away from Jenkins. Here's Powell. Andy Hunt.
That's on a corner, Rob. It's a mean-looking Charlton. You know, some unkind people say that, you know, the London sides can be soft on the travels. Not this Charlton side.
Yes, they've done particularly well on their travels this season. Kinsella it is to take this corner. Easy claim for Nico Vaesen. Charlton have already recorded wins at Sheffield United, Portsmouth, Grimsby, Crewe and Swindon this season, and been beaten away from home on just 3 occasions in the league. Pringle is offside.
Crowd were just having a go at Kenny Irons there. He couldn't see the ball. He was shielding it with his arm, and the ball just went past him. There was a bit of whinging going on. I think they're a little bit stunned, the home side, how Charlton have taken the game to them.
Armstrong. Youds. Jenkins charged in there, and the referee didn't like that challenge at all.
Jenkins is furious, but he's going to get booked here. We'll see. Well, he blocks the ball, but it's the studs. Showing the studs, but he got the ball, which certainly wasn't high, as Pringle hobbles away.
The referee's actually calling John Dyson towards him, and Dyson gave a complete look of innocence.
Well, it's clearly Jenkins who's in with a block tackle. I think it's a bit of mistaken identity. You see Jenkins with the right foot. There's a shove from Dyson from behind. Does that merit a booking?
Well, Kenny Irons, no wonder, is intervening. It seems a bizarre decision, and you can understand in a way the look of bemusement and puzzlement on Dyson's face, but he is the man shown the yellow card. It was a crucial one as well, because it means a suspension coming up, while Jenkins appears to have got off scot-free. Powell's free kick. Youds helping it on. This is Sean Newton. Cleared by Armstrong. Shields. Gorre in the way of it, but Youds battling hard.
Charlton just first to the ball. It's incredible, all over the pitch. Sharper. I just wonder how many Huddersfield players are suffering.
Lions.
That's a good battle in there, we expected it. And it's lively. The home punters don't like it.
Charlton ruffling a few feathers. Youds had his arms all round Wijnhard. Gorre! And it deflects across. But the referee, I think, has already blown for an initial skirmish.
Well, I was highlighting it earlier, Rob. But there has been contact between Wijnhard and Youds. Suddenly Gorre turns up, he can hit them. It's blocked, but the referee's saying the initial long ball, there was a... Well, he's blaming Wijnhard, simple as that, saying climbing all over Youds.
Charlton have come here and are ruffling a few feathers. These the two teams in the immediate slipstream of the current leaders, Manchester City. And Charlton with a game in hand on the three teams around them at the top of the First Division. This is Rufus. Pringle with a touch, cleared by Jenkins. Gorre getting there ahead of Youds, who had his arm raised. And as it's played forward by Powell, Hunt controls. Vaesen had come a long way from his goal, but the flag was up anyway.
The screaming and the boos is Youds. Youds' his arms up. Watch here. Comes to join in. Doesn't elbow Gorre, but the hand makes contact with Gorre's head. Using all his experience already.
A tough, uncompromising defender who came at a crucial stage of the last promotion season 2 seasons ago. He and Wijnhard are getting to know each other very well.
The home fans are giving the referee pelters, saying you don't know what you're doing, but I think if they see the replay again, when Newton went down the right wing and Vincent definitely caught him, they might change their minds. So for me, that's guaranteed penalty.
Big day at the top end of the Premiership today, with the top 4 playing each other. It's Sunderland against Manchester United, live on Sky Sports 1 and Sky Sports Extra, with our coverage starting at 7 o'clock. 2 of the top 3 in the Nationwide League in action here. Nothing to choose between them in terms of goals at the moment, but Charlton really have made a very effective start to this game.
Kiely goals had nothing to do, whereas Hunt and Pringle are putting Vaesen under all sorts of pressure.
Powell with the free kick, and Hunt leaping ahead of Beech, cleared by Vincent. This is Robinson. Nice touch from him into the path of Andy Hunt. And this time he scores! And Charlton, having seen previous opportunities squandered, have finally taken the lead here.
Well, it had to come, Rob. Great play again from Robinson. Hunt with a good header. Look at the part he plays here. Wins 2 headers. Takes this in his stride. This time across the goalkeeper. Good finish. Andy Hunt wins 2 headers. Skip past the centre half. And that's a good finish low into the bottom corner. Surely what Charlton have deserved so far. Hunt the scorer, 1-0.
And after 8 games without a goal, Andy Hunt finally moves into double figures for the season. And it's Huddersfield 0, Charlton 1. Hunt, one of the culprits of those previous missed opportunities. No mistake this time.
Again, the referee infuriating the home fans, but Alan Kirbishley, little smile. Yeah, we deserve this, he's saying to himself.
A smile of quiet satisfaction. We're barely a third of the way through the game. But the worry for the Charlton manager was that the missed opportunities would cost them dear.
I just feel every department, Charlton, are sharper and stronger.
Powell and Rufus and Wijnhard rather tussling.
It just looks as if Charlton want it a little bit more, Rob. I know it's a naughty thing to say, but they just are battling for everything. They want it more in Huddersfield at the moment. Just one of that goal will wake up the home side.
Jenkins with a free kick. And Shields restricting Stewart's opportunity.
Yeah, good block from Shields, because Stewart around the box is dynamite. He's starved of the ball, but you give him half a chance, he'll take it gladly. Again, look at Youds and Wijnhard in the 6-yard box. Really are having a tussle.
Well, it's been me in my shadow for most of the afternoon, and referee Brandwood is going to step in and give them a talking to.
Who's going to get the yellow first?
And still they go on, despite the warning. Came back off Armstrong. Cleared as far as Ben Thornley. Stewart tries to lay it off. Cleared by Robinson. Thornley. Stewart. Instant ball in from Vincent. Cleared by Rufus. Pringle. Foul challenge by Steve Jenkins, says the referee.
Well, again, the fans feel referees against them. Pringle falls, but it's from behind. He's in a tough old match at the moment. There's no doubt Hunt and Pringle are more effective than Stewart and Wijnhard at the moment.
Jones. Thornley unable to keep it in play. Stewart and Wijnhard have been the most prolific partnership in the division, with 20 of the 25 goals they've managed between them coming here.
I think wide as well. This fella Robinson's having a fine game, Rob. Newton and Robinson are more effective wide.
Again, Robinson running them ragged. Hunt with a touch, and Newton was trying to get there at the far post and just couldn't get there quickly enough.
Well, I mentioned Robinson and Newton and almost combining, but he's caused havoc, Robinson. If Newton just believes in this a little bit more, it's not easy. He had to gamble. And again, Huddersfield defence at 6s and 7s.
Hunt. Robinson. Looks to have been a wise decision to restore John Robinson to the lineup at the expense of Salako.
When Hunt tucked the goal away, Robinson's celebration, he was going mad. You thought he just got his third, his hat-trick. That's what it meant to him. But Hunt played a great part. Two-headed balls and then finishing.
Stewart this time has laid it off, and it's Dean Gorre. Beech.
Brave from Kinsella. Brave from Kinsella, throwing himself at Beech after good work from Gorre. Slips it inside. Watch Kinsella throw himself.
Well, the corner's been given, and Armstrong and Dyson have both come forward for it. Beyond Wijnhard. Now can Gorre deliver? Headed away by Powell. And Jones saves the corner. Thornley in towards Wijnhard.
He was just trying to help that on. Dyson was at the far post, flicking it right into the goalkeeper's arms.
Newton. Robinson. And again Robinson! Oh, that's an outstanding goal! Huddersfield so slow to react initially, but stunned into silence by his second attempt.
Well, he spots a run. His first pass is blocked. He spots a run, tries to hook it there, but what a reaction this is. With his right foot, unstoppable, top corner. That is brilliant. Vaesen, big lad, can't get anywhere near it. And Robinson, wow, what a first half he's had here. Superb. 2-0.
He really has run the show, hasn't he, in this first period, John Robinson, and quite a goal to mark that performance with. Absolutely outstanding stuff from the Welshman.
I think it was Hunt who pulled away first time, Rob. He spotted him superbly, trying to hook it wide, but when the ball came back off the defender, only one thing in his mind.
Huddersfield stood off him, not anticipating any sort of danger whatsoever from that range, but my, what a shot he delivered. Here's Wijnhard.
Never mind some of the Huddersfield players under the weather with illness. Robinson flew in. Just try to hook it to Hunt. Just here, there's a good run. But what about this for a strike? That's 30 yards. Fantastic.
Dyson. Irons. Rufus.
That's been the first half for me, Rob. When it's there to be won, Charlton are winning it.
Now Pringle, he's got away from Armstrong. And he's managed to feed it through to Hunt. And he's onside. Newton. Well, Armstrong leaving it to his captain Kenny Irons.
There's chaos back there for Huddersfield. They need a leader out there, a Steve Bruce if you like. They've got to organise. At the moment, Charlton are running them ragged.
Shields. Jones. Shields again. Now Andy Hunt. Good strike from him. They all want to get in on the act now. And he's produced a quite brilliant save from Vaesen.
That's excellent. Shields does well. Plays it inside. Hunt on his left foot. Hits it well. And a good stop. Right-handed save from Vaesen. Had that gone in, it was game over. Good stop. Good strike. That's a fine save.
Vaesen under pressure still. It's cracking stuff this from the visiting side as Kinsella takes the corner. What seemed a fairly even division so far this year. Charlton are looking a very impressive compact unit. Here's Wijnhard. Now Dyson. Break Kenny Irons. Vincent. This is Thornley. Stewart.
You can tell with the home fans voicing the dissatisfaction. There was some tough talk in the half-time, I'm sure, in the home side dressing room. It's not gone yet. The third one goes in, it would have been. John Dean and Steve Bruce, stern-faced, because this is a lesson.
Jenkins on Pringle, and the referee has let it go, and it's Robinson. Huddersfield were still arguing about the referee's initial whistle when Charlton were getting on with it. Now the home team have got their act back together, and Gorre here is on the break for them. Stewart.
You see, that's where Charlton are good. Suddenly Powell went in the overlap. Robinson, for the first time in the first half, makes a mistake. Huddersfield attacking down the right-hand side, and it's Kinsella getting back again on Gorre. Stewart eventually, well, he gets nothing on it.
Pringle. Cleared by Vincent. Gorre.
I don't think I've seen the two centre-halves of Huddersfield been dominated so much, Rob, in the first half, especially here at the McAlpine.
Beech. Jenkins. Kenny Irons. Thornley.
Half chance. First time Irons has been weaving his magic. Tucks a lovely ball into the path of Thornley. This is a good chance on his right foot. You've got to hit the target. 2-0 down. There's not been too many attempts by Huddersfield. See that? Look at that, 7 away from home. On target, and that's the difference. A big difference.
Only trouble directly, only once. This man has been particularly busy, Nico Vaesen.
Rufus clashing in with Kinsella. And again the boos ring out. No talking there from Rufus. Kinsella right underneath it. And this could be Alan Kirbishley's first worrying moment of this first half. And that could be nasty. Doesn't look as if there's a head injury. Could be a dead leg, but Rufus clattering into Kinsella. And for once, Kirbishley concerned.
Little has gone wrong for him so far, but this is a moment of concern for the Charlton manager. The referee left with no option but to stop play after the clash of heads with Rufus and Kinsella, who both look fairly groggy so close to half-time. But it's Huddersfield who've been shell-shocked by what's happened in front of them in terms of the game so far, and the way that John Robinson has engineered the show for Alan Kirbyshly's side.
He couldn't have had a better start, could he, to a match? Fantastic. Robinson to Hunt. Hunt on his left foot. Good finish. Going for the far post. That's great. But what about this for a strike? 30 yards out. That's a screamer. Fantastic. And what a first half he's had.
Alan Kirbyshly scored himself for Charlton in a match against Huddersfield back in the mid-80s, in a season when they were promoted as runners-up to a Norwich side that included Steve Bruce and John Dean. Will the two old rivals from those days be following each other up to the Premiership this season? Certainly Manchester City will be hoping that they have some say in the issues that remain this season. But one or two problems for Steve Bruce to mull over before half-time.
Yeah, I don't think he panics at all, though, Steve. He'll be thinking about this. He knows he's under strength with the illness he's had in his camp, and he also knows that Charlton, ex-Premiership side, you know, last season, suddenly this was going to be a tough one. You need all your players 100%, and that hasn't happened first half.
Well, he was always aware of his deficiencies at the back, with the absence at the moment of broken leg victim Chris Licchetti, which was why he brought in David May. So it was the worst of all worlds for Steve Bruce when May himself went off injured in his debut 2 days ago. Rufus and Youds have been very solid, but just how much that clash of heads with Kinsella will take out of Rufus remains to be seen. The smelling salts have been used.
Yeah, he looks groggy, doesn't he?
Not too charitable from Thornley as the ball was returned to Charlton, and Rufus had to duck out of the way, still recovering his senses.
He's got a problem there, Rufus. He doesn't look at all with it.
It is fairly close to half-time, but because of the delay with Rufus and Kinsella being treated, there'll be a fair bit of stoppage time to be added on. This is Pringle. Thornley. Now Vincent. And Rufus making his first challenge on Wijnhard since the injury. Stewart gets it across. Kenny Irons was in there. Jenkins and Gorre, they were both uncertain, and in the end Robinson seizes upon that uncertainty.
Yeah, it was a good header from Powell as well. That's what Charlton, you know, when they're under pressure with injuries and people not quite with it, like Rufus is still holding his head, Powell makes a header.
4 minutes of stoppage time to be added on in the first half. Here's Vincent. Rufus. Kinsella. Now Shields. Thornley. In the box.
Well, Youds is screaming, saying to the ref, I just held my ground. That's been this the whole game, hasn't it? You see his arms round them. That's perhaps why the ref said, don't worry, free kick. Wijnhard try to use his strength. Youds holding his ground. It's the left arm is the problem.
Vincent and Thornley over the free kick. And Wijnhard so close to each other as Vincent gets the kick in. Flicks off Beech's head, and Kiely manages to get enough on it.
So this is the only time Huddersfield have looked dangerous at set pieces. Kiely comes to this, he's nowhere near it. Just flicked in there, look at the bodies in front of him, it's difficult. Headed away by Youds.
A disappointing corner. Thornley.
This time that's a good catch from the goalkeeper. Thornley on his left foot, just hoping, getting it in there. Good sight from the keeper, under no pressure.
There's Powell. Hunt. It's Dyson. Jenkins. And Robinson again. Powell. Kinsella. Cleared by Jenkins. This is Thornley. Wijnhard letting it run, anticipating that Stewart was right behind him.
Well, Stewart had made a movement to try and get Thornley to tempt the ball in behind, but he goes for Wijnhard. And to be fair to Wijnhard, Stewart was right behind him till he moved inside.
One of those days for the front two so far for Huddersfield. The understanding between them is normally so acute. This is Beech. Gorre. Now Vincent. Stewart. He's hurt himself in making the challenge. This is Newton. Now Pringle has gone down off the ball, but he's back on his feet as Beech comes back to make the tackle. Free kick given against Armstrong, foul on Andy Hunt.
The crowd don't like it, but that's a clear free kick on Hunt. Hunt getting the ball first. You see, he gets a toe to it, down he goes. It's got to be a free kick. But Eddie Youds is in big trouble here. Let's have a look. There's no real contact. I think it's his knee. I think he's in big trouble. It's the way he's jolted the knee, got into the tackle. It looks like his left knee.
Yes, he looks to have jarred it badly, does Eddie Youds.
He's had a lot of problems with his knees over the past few years, Eddie Youds. And that, well, could this be a bit of a turning point for Huddersfield, who haven't been in this match?
Well, he's dealt with Clyde Wijnhard so closely and so well that if Alan Kirbishley is forced to withdraw Eddie Youds, it might give something of a psychological boost to a Huddersfield team desperately in need of it.
Ref calling for a stretcher. And that is bad news for Eddie Youds. So many injuries, tough competitor, and Charlton are a better side when he's in the heart of the defence. And amazingly, no one really near him as he went into the challenge, trying to close down.
Well, they have Andy Todd on the bench, and Steve Brown as well is versatile.
It's just there, stretching, trying to rob that, or try to put Stewart under pressure. That's a huge blow.
Well, they're not even going to leave it until the second half. They know that the game is up for Eddie Youds, and Steve Brown is going to come on and take his place. Sad end to the match for Eddie Youds, and the response he's getting from the crowd is a pretty poor one.
It's not because of that, Rob, it's because of the battle he's had with Wijnhard all first half. But it is a shame, you don't like to hear it, but that's how frustrated the Huddersfield fans are in this first half. He's got a big problem, don't worry about that, he's not cheating.
They're battling on with 10 men to half-time by the look of things. Steve Brown, having initially looked as though he would come on, hasn't. Kinsella at the heart of the debate over how the free kick will be worked. And it comes back at him off the wall.
I think Kinsella tried to strike there, Rob. disguising the ball at the far post. I think he tried to dink one to Vaesen's to his near post, his left-hand post. Charlton just playing down the clock now. Still the boos ring out.
Well, it's a sad end to the half for Eddie Youds and for Charlton in what has otherwise been an excellent and accomplished first half display. Andy Hunt scoring, having been set up by John Robinson, who outstandingly headed the second. No wonder Keith Peacock was keen to congratulate him after he came on. Great touch here from Robinson to put Hunt through and relieve Charlton's worries after a series of missed opportunities. But just savour that. What a strike from John Robinson to put Charlton comfortably ahead at half-time. It's a blow to lose Eddie Youds. We'll see what response that brings out of Huddersfield, who would trail 2-0 at half-time.
Huddersfield's unbeaten record at the McAlpine is in serious danger. It's been some 45 minutes for Charlton. Andy Hunt with the first, and the outstanding John Robinson with the second. There's a lot for the Terriers to do in part two. Live darts coming up for you this afternoon on Sky Sports 3 as we begin 6 days of live coverage from the 2000 World Darts Championship. Join Sid Waddell and the rest of the team this afternoon from 2, only on Sky Sports 3.
180!
Phil Taylor defending his title, Eric Bristow in action today. At the McAlpine, it is 2-0. Look at those stats. 12 attempts at goal, 5 on target for Charlton, just 1 for the home side. Remember, a win for Huddersfield will take them back to the top of the First Division. The one booking, John Dyson, somewhat unfortunate really. We thought Steve Jenkins should have been shown yellow. Mr. Brandwood, the referee, disagreed. Action area is pretty even. Charlton with a little more of the ball. But it's complete domination for the Londoners at the moment. Peter Jackson and Nigel Spackman are with me. What is wrong with Huddersfield, Peter?
Well, obviously, they've given too much time and space. Charlton completely dominated the game from start to finish, and 2-0, it could have been a lot worse for Huddersfield, but as I say, they've given too much time and space on the ball. Yeah,
the real surprise was that Charlton didn't take the lead before they did.
Well, for the first half an hour of this match, it was just Charlton all the way. Huddersfield didn't get a kick, didn't have a shot at goal. It took the goal, really, to kick Huddersfield into action for about 5 minutes, and then Charlton break away and score another fantastic goal. But I think they've played some super stuff, Charlton, and have controlled the match from start to half-time.
Let's have another look at the goals. If you're a Charlton supporter who couldn't make it to the ground, I'm sure you're enjoying yourself wherever you are. Andy Hunt had the majority of the early chances, but the touch from Robinson is fantastic, isn't it?
He's had a smashing first half, and so's Hunt. A good back heel, good touch from Hunt, who takes him away from Jenkins, I think that is, and then he shoots across Vaesen. But there's 3 players following in as well.
Should Vaesen have done better, Peter?
He'd be disappointed, Nico, because he's a perfectionist, and he will be disappointed with that goal, yeah.
He had no chance with this second one, an inadvertent 1-2 involving Steve Jenkins, but what a finish, 67 miles an hour, nearly 34 yards.
Yeah, terrific. He had a bit of slice luck, obviously, deflection off Steve Jenkins. See it here, it just deflects off Steve Jenkins, and he sits up nicely, twists his body, shapes it well, and no keeper in the world would have saved that. Terrific strike. There we see it again. They'll watch that for years to come.
But John Robinson has been the player of the first half. I mean, he didn't play. John Salako played on Saturday. He comes in today and he's absolutely
He's
superb.
justified his inclusion, hasn't he?
Yeah, I think he's always likely to do it, and I think what's happening in midfield, those balls that are breaking, him, Kinsella and Jones are picking them up, and when Robinson gets on it, he's running the ball out and giving time and space to Charlton, and then they just build from there, looking very good.
At 0-0, Charlton thought they should have had a penalty, and they had a pretty good shout for one, didn't they?
A good shout for a penalty here. Yeah, we can see it's the incident here. Jamie Vincent got caught wrong side of Sean Newton. He's going through, and he just clips the back of his heel, because you see the ball doesn't move, and Jamie just clips it away for a corner. But you see it here, he makes no contact whatsoever with the ball, and really that should have been a penalty.
Definite penalty for me. Sean Newton's very quick and he's away, and Vincent goes in there, but he doesn't make contact with the ball, and that's the vital thing. But the referee has decided, well, I'll give that as a corner. But Charlton went on from there and they're 2-0 up.
They certainly are, and they're looking a very good bet for their lead at the moment. Remember, it's 10 wins and 2 draws in 12 home games for Huddersfield this season in the league. Can they recover? We're back in a couple of minutes. Tonight's live Premiership action comes from the Stadium of Light. It's Sunderland against Manchester United from 7 on Sky Sports 1 and Sky Sports Extra. And tomorrow on Sky Sports 1 and Sky Sports Extra, it's Chelsea and Sheffield Wednesday. Here on Sky Sports 3 and Sky Sports Extra, it's 2-0 to Charlton at half-time at Huddersfield. The one blot on the landscape for the Londoners, the injury just before half-time to Eddie Youds. Twisted knee, he is off. And we understand that Mark Kinsella is also off at half-time with a dead leg. Steve Brown and Andy Todd are coming on. How significant is that, Peter?
Well, Youds has been fantastic at the back. Him and Rufus have Marcus Stewart and Wijnhard out of the game, and they will miss him. As I said, they're completely dominating the game, but Brown will come on and fill that centre-back position. But he's been inspirational at the back and never give this front two a kick.
Mr Wijnhard will be delighted to hear that Youds is off, because he didn't leave him for the first 45, did he?
And Marcus Stewart as well. I think they've just dominated. Youds and Rufus dominated them in the first half, as Hunt and Pringle have really dominated Gorre. Dyson obviously coming on at the back the other end. So, you know, it's all to play for, but the changes might unsettle Charlton a little bit, especially losing Kinsella, their captain, who's a leader in there, very, very good player. So it's an interesting second half.
Yep, a glimmer of hope for Steve Bruce and his side as we rejoin our match commentators, Alan Brazil and Rob Hawthorne.
Well, those 2 substitutions that have been forced upon Charlton may well change the picture in the second half. Remains to be seen. Andy Todd is on, Steve Brown is on, and Eddie Youds and Mark Kinsella, who've been influential figures for Charlton this season, are off. Here's Powell. Back from Hunt. This is Jones. Pringle here looking to get away, and Vaesen had gambled, came a long way and clashed with his own man, and Armstrong now is flat out on the deck.
Oh, that was nasty, that was nasty, and he is out the game. He is sparkle. This is dangerous. You can see Armstrong, oh dear, and it's a knee to the side of the head, and someone's got to get out there quickly. Vaesen coming, no talking from the goalkeeper, and that's a right knee to the face, and lands on Armstrong. Let's hope he's okay.
Well, they were out to him very quickly, and Nico Vaesen obviously concerned. It was a complete accident, and as if Huddersfield didn't have enough problems, this is Steve Bruce's worst nightmare at the start of the second half.
The only thing I can say there is the goalkeeper can see the picture, see the ball, talk, and clearly from the slow-mo he wasn't talking to Armstrong. This is nasty. What a terrible start to the second half. Oh, really catches him there, and then on the way down as well.
The concern is such that John Dean has just trotted onto the field, Steve Bruce's coach, to check and report back to his manager.
That's an accident, Rob, but goalkeepers, you've got to talk. Now that is a blow. That is a huge blow. Armstrong's a tough character. Didn't even see it coming.
Well, all available medical assistance going now to Craig Armstrong after that unfortunate collision with his goalkeeper's knee. Vaesen having come a long way for the through ball. Breakdown in communication, bringing about the incident that has further added to the woes of Steve Bruce and his team, who were already 2-0 down at the start of the second half. They've already lost Kevin Gray through illness, and now the injured Craig Armstrong is about to be carried off, although obviously being handled delicately so that no further damage can be done.
That's very sad. When you get facial injuries or head injury, you know, it's horrible to see, and clearly, you know, Vaesen just trying to get to the ball, and his knee bangs into the side of the face of Armstrong. And I think as Armstrong hit the deck, probably unconscious, I think he's whacked him again on the way down.
Well, there's been a heavy toll of casualties in this game for both teams.
And it's not been a nasty game, Rob. You know, it's been a competitive, tough game, but, you know, it's not been nasty.
Craig Armstrong, the latest to join the list, that's already seen Kevin Gray go off injured, and Eddie Youds and Mark Kinsella go off injured at half-time for Charlton. And Craig Armstrong will be stretchered off while Steve Bruce and John Dean make their contingency plans. Warm applause for Craig Armstrong as he leaves. And sportingly, the Charlton fans giving him an ovation too. Sadly, we have to say, unlike the sort of response that Eddie Youds had in the first half. Time to make a change, and it's a call to arms for the experienced Barry Horne. And a bit of a reshuffle presumably for Huddersfield as a result, with Chris Beech being switched to right back and Steve Jenkins going into the centre now to partner John Dyson. And Robinson gives it back to Vaesen.
No, it's a huge blow. Losing your two centre-halves. 2-0 down at home. What a battle ahead.
Newton trying to put Shields away. Jenkins got the cross. Jamie Vincent's throw in. Rufus, this is Jones. Just got caught there by Barry Horne, who so quickly after coming on was risking a booking there.
Well, to be honest, Huddersfield need a bit of steel in there, but that's, you know, that's, well, it looks yellowish to me from behind.
The referee may be taking account of the fact that Horne has only just come on, keen to get involved, and no yellow card shown. Dyson's clearance. Powell. Gorre. Now Ben Thornley. Towards Vincent, but it was too short for him. Newton got in. Header out by Greg Shields, who was brought in this season from Dunfermline. Steve Brown, who's a very versatile player.
He's strong, and he's good in the air as well, so it's ideal just to slot in there instead of Eddie out.
He's even done turns in goal when it's been absolutely necessary. Hunt letting it go to Newton, and now Shields. There's Pringle trying to turn his man Dyson. Gorre tried to emerge with it. Horne takes another whack. This is Powell. Well, the changes haven't helped, but Huddersfield still looking uncertain at the back.
I think what Steve Bruce has said at half-time is get your foot in. We're second best in the challenges in the midfield all over the pitch. I want to see a little bit more aggression in the second half.
claim by Vaesen. Here's Vincent. This is Gorre.
That was a little bit late. Perhaps Andy Todd, like Barry Horne, his first real challenge of the match, getting away with it.
Vincent. Brown coming out to clear. This is Jenkins. Now Dyson. Huddersfield have let a 2-0 lead slip this season here against Port Vale. The shoe now on the other foot in that they have to try and recover this 2-0 deficit. Steve Bruce's depleted team will have to show plenty of resolve in this half if they're to turn it around. Newton edging that contest with Vincent. He's got Hunt moving out to his right, Pringle ahead of him to his left. Here's Shields. Jones. Newton claiming the throw in and getting it. Shields in no rush to take it. Pulled across by Pringle. Hunt was in there. Went beyond him though.
What a great ball as well.
Here's Hunt. Tried to slip it through the legs of John Dyson. Stewart. Irons. Wijnhard up against Brown. Kiely playing it cool.
There's no doubt about it, Charlton have got all the quality this afternoon.
Thornley going in to block that attempted pass by Greg Shields.
Surely Wijnhard and Stewart are going to burst into life. We have seen very little of a feared duel in the First Division. Maybe it's still to come.
Irons. Put out by Todd. Vincent. Todd. There's a push there on Gorre. Certainly the home fans are claiming that. Wijnhard battling hard with Jones, winning it for Dean Gorre. Wijnhard breaks off Rufus. They're claiming handball this time, but again nothing doing.
Tell you what, big shouts for handball. Not just one end, all round three ends. Huddersfield fans are furious. Well, Rufus' right arm was there. From that angle, it could have been the chest, it could have been the right arm. The referee saying no way. The linesman couldn't see it because he was on the other side. Maybe that was a let off for Charlton. Wrong side for that man. Just drilled in by Wijnhard. Let's have a look at Rufus. Does the right arm go out?
He was right on the edge of the box anyway. And
I just think it's a case that the referee couldn't positively decide yes or no. If he's not sure, then he has to go with Rufus.
Newton in towards Pringle, who was jostling there with Chris Beech.
Just getting a little bit niggly now.
Here's Todd. Hunt. Cleared by Irons. Jenkins, Horne. Now Todd. Foul by Barry Horne.
was nothing in that challenge. But these two are going to have a go at each other. They're two sort of aggressive type players, aren't they? Not nasty.
Most of Todd's career at Bolton was at the back, although during the latter part of it he was playing in a defensive midfield role, which I believe is where Charlton see his future. To Shields. Jenkins. Irons.
A bit more fight at Huddersfield in the second half, but still not enough quality. Not to worry, this Charlton Athletic impressive in the first 45.
Wimbledon in the Worthington Cup and Liverpool in the FA Cup, the only teams to win here so far this season. While Charlton about to join that exclusive club. This is Thornley. Newton coming back, and Barry Horne has really been involved in a lot of the ferocity at the start of the second half.
Oh, he has. This is his type of game. You know, when your side are not winning any 50-50s, he clobbered Newton earlier, and Newton just catching him a little bit late. But Charlton don't want to get involved in this. They want to keep the football.
Horne, 37 years of age now, former teammate of Steve Bruce at Birmingham. Irons. Header away by Shields. This is Sean Newton. Well, it's been that sort of afternoon for Steve Bruce, who's lost Craig Armstrong. We're here with concussion. He is now conscious, having been stretchered off.
Well, that's definitely a bonus. Does that look very nasty indeed?
Stewart.
Stewart's getting frustrated. He's saying, give us it early, give us it early. Wijnhard, well, the only sort of joy he's having at the moment, he's having... Eddie Youds is now gone, but Rufus and Wijnhard a few moments ago were having a real old tussle.
Jenkins. Free kick for the challenge on him by Todd. Now Vincent.
That's good play from Pringle. He's working hard up there, Pringle.
Robinson. Now Beech. Left by Stewart. Wijnhard. Stewart again.
It's the first time in the match they two have played together, Wijnhard and Stewart.
Vincent's cross, and Rufus gets a toe to it, and it's cleared by Robinson just as Gorre was coming in. Now just picking up the threads again. Must have had a demoralising effect for the rest of the players as well when they saw Armstrong stretch it off. There's obvious concern for your teammate when you see him in such a state.
Definitely, and they've had a rollicking at half-time. Make no mistake about that. They're competing a lot better in the second half. And the little 50-50 battles all over the pitch. Now they're winning a few.
And this man has played a leading role in that, Barry Horne. He hasn't held back from any challenge. Thornley. Stewart, Wijnhard. He's got Irons moving up on the outside of it. He's looking for Stewart. Now Thornley. It's been a decent passage of play this for Huddersfield. Vincent had made his run. Here's Horne. Stewart.
Definitely better. They're pushing Charlton back now.
Stewart gives it back to Jamie Vincent, who crosses first time towards Wijnhard. Any touch on that and Kiely might have had a problem.
Well, Brown, if he leaves this, It's a remarkable decision because Kiely must be talking to him. As you see, Rob, any touch at all from Wijnhard, and that was problems.
That's Horne. Cleared by Rufus to Jones. Pringle. A contest there with Jenkins. He finds Sean Newton. Newton's got Horne snapping away at him.
Away from home, 2-0. That's great play again from Pringle. That's willingness to get there first and hold it up.
Robinson looks for Powell. Cleared by Vincent. And now Thornley. Beaten to it by Shields. Brown. Newton. Todd. Greg Shields. Ever present for his last 2 seasons at Dunfermline, who were relegated from the Scottish Premier Division at the end of last season.
I think he's had a good game today. He's kept Thornley quiet.
Cleared by Richard Rufus.
There's a lot on the shoulders of Rufus here. Brown slotting alongside him. Now he's got to have the argy-bargy with Wijnhard. He's not scared of it either.
Rufus, one of those who really flowered during the last promotion season 2 years ago, and certainly didn't look out of place when Alan Kirbishley's team were in the Premiership last season. Thornley there, trying to dig in against Shields. It's been a very below-par performance from Thornley, who presumably is still feeling the effects of the bug that ruled him out on Boxing Day. But this is Pringle and Robinson and Hunt charging to get in the box. Beech gets it away, but it's Jones following up. He just gets too much elevation on it.
That's the difference today. The 2 front players for Charlton, superb. Hunt and Pringle. Hunt releases Pringle, clips one in. Jones following up, gambling, saying, here we go, this is number 3. Just doesn't dip enough for him. But great play again from Hunt and Pringle, allowing Jones a shot on goal. Worked really well as a combination, these two.
Irons. Here's Beech. Rufus tussling with Stewart this time. Shields. Back from Jenkins.
Just think myself, Rob, that Huddersfield, by the 70 mark, they need a goal. 2-1. It gives them 20 minutes to try and get back into it.
Todd had made a run from midfield. Dyson had to seize control of it as Robinson was lurking as well.
There's one thing about Vaesen, he's a big tall lad. Dyson again, there's no talking. You know, I don't want to blame him for what's happened to Armstrong, but if there's no talking, Dyson has to deal with it.
Offside flag is up.
It's got to be change time. Huddersfield needs something. They need a spark.
Well, he's been forced into making 2 changes already, and he's going to use his 3rd substitute in the form of Donis. And Thornley presumably could be the man to make way. One thing you have to give Huddersfield credit for is the way that players have come from their sickbed to be here, despite their winter ailments. And sure enough, it is Thornley who is coming on. Greek international George Donis is still searching for his first goal for Huddersfield. Played for Steve Bruce at Sheffield United, of course, and scored for them on the final day of last season.
Well, Rufus was caught as he cleared that up the line. Very unhappy with the late challenge. It's Marcus Stewart just leaving his studs in. Bit naughty.
And the last thing that they need is an injury to Rufus with Eddie Youds on crutches.
I tell you what, Eddie's got about 6 pair at home of crutches. He should bring his own to the games. Injury problems he's had.
Here's Todd. Challenge was by Vincent. It's Jones who's got it away. Here's Todd again.
So now there's a bit of fight about Huddersfield.
Jones trying to set Newton away. Pringle and Hunt and Robinson all converging on the penalty area. Good play by Newton. And it's just beyond Pringle's reach.
It's a hard ball he's tried. I thought he was going to let fly with his left foot. Pringle at the far post. Good play from Newton again. He's been, you know, we talked about Robinson first half, but Newton's got through a lot of work. Excellent. Spots Pringle just slightly overhit. Just saying, Rob, you know, when Huddersfield starts slamming into a few tackles, it does give the home crowd a lift. It's still not the quality, but suddenly it can lift the players too, with the crowd behind them.
Brown wrestling to get in front of Clyde Wijnhard. Wijnhard attempting to get on with the free kick quickly. Gorre was furious that it wasn't allowed. Here he is, Dean Gorre. Todd first to it, despite the battles of Wijnhard, which in the end pay dividends. Horne, now Donis. Getting inside Robinson. They tried to feed it through and it almost broke again for Donis. Initially they were looking for Clyde Wijnhard.
It's a little chance, you know, the subs come on, he's just running there hoping. Suddenly it falls to him, he hits it first time from 18 yards. And if he got the inspiration, Rob, from last night's movie, The Guns of Navarone, what a film. The Greek international.
There he goes again.
This was Charlton, okay, it's a free kick, no doubt about it. Robinson's arms there. The Charlton in midfield have worked the socks off, offensively and defensively.
Run away from Gorre, and Jones was there behind him to capitalise, but as Shields hits it against Stewart, the defender has to recover.
Now you hear the crowd, now there's pressure, 20 minutes to go.
Stewart. A little more optimism in the second half of the crowd.
Well, they've not had a lot to shout about, have they? Charlton early on took the game to the scruff of the neck, which, you know, Brucey at half-time must have been raging in that dressing room.
Here's Donis. Cross from Beech. Gorre was going for the spectacular there. Jones frustrated those attempts. Wijnhard looking to get through. And some great marshalling again from Rufus, although with another heavy fall.
Brave defending from Rufus and the goalkeeper. Kiely makes his mind up here, but watch Rufus shield the ball. Little nod down, gets his body in there. Out comes his keeper. That's brave. Yeah, Stewart wasn't looking at the ball. Referee's correct. He's getting pelters again from the home fans, but he's right. You see Marcus Stewart just leaning in with the shoulder. It's a free kick. Good player Stewart around the box, just hasn't received it in the right areas. And marshalled very well.
Pringle knocked down by Jones. Robinson trying another strike.
Vaesen had to keep it tight as well. Newton was ready for any spillage.
Todd, Jones, Todd again.
Charlton push forward in numbers. A little head down by Jones, and suddenly Robinson tries one, but look at the follow-up.
Yes, Newton was preparing to pounce, but Vaesen held on. Donis. This is Vincent. And will it fall for Wijnhard this time? The foot was high.
So it's better this time for Marcus Stewart. Marcus Stewart really battles for this ball before it comes to Clyde Wijnhard, as Brucey looks at the watch. Stewart leaning in, that's better. You can see there's a tussle, up goes the leg, and Brown, well, Wijnhard penalised, foot up on Brown.
And Brown, the latest to cause a hold-up after that whack he's taken to the side of the head. Charlton were already planning a substitution before the injury to Brown, with John Salako poised to enter. But they'll just hold off for a minute or two to see how Brown is.
Yeah, as much as he's down it gone, John Salako, I don't think he'll fancy going back there, centre half alongside Rufus.
But Alan Kirbishley's team are holding on, and he just wants them to maintain that effort for the final quarter of an hour.
I think he's maybe saying, hey, we're a little bit deep here, you know, we're inviting them on as, come on, let's clear it forward and push up.
Well, Brown is all right again. So that'll be plan A for the substitution at the first available opportunity. Wijnhard getting in front of Brown. Irons has slipped it through to Gorre this time, and he misses his kick and can't get round Rufus.
He's taking a knock as well, Gorre. I think he just tried to help it into Stewart.
Horne keeps his footing and finds Donis. Surrounded by 3 Charlton players. Look how they're working on him. Beech, Horne, Donis. Little flick from Beech, who gets the return. He's capable of good strikes, but Charlton had plenty of bodies back there. This is Horne. Irons trying to work the opening. Horne. Now Jamie Vincent. Good ball in from him.
There's definitely a sense of urgency now about Huddersfield that was badly lacking and missing in the first 45 minutes.
Oddly enough, it's since the injury blow when Armstrong went off with concussion that they've really galvanised. And
well, Thornley, you know, Barry Horne's been in there getting his foot, and that's raised the crowd and his players.
Vincent's corner. Shields trying to make it his. Knock back across.
Good goalkeeping. Good goalkeeping there. Kiely's not had a lot to do. When he's been asked, he's come and delivered. Right on the 6-yard line. Good stop from the keeper.
Breaks away from Hunt, and the throw will have to be retaken because the referee was busying himself with this substitution. Salako finally is going to come on. Waiting for the number to be raised, and it is number 7, Sean Newton.
Looks as if Robinson might switch. He might play right hand side, John Robertson. Salako come and play left.
Salako got his first goal in 2 months against his old club Palace at the weekend.
Yeah, that's what you get for scoring in your last game. You get dropped. Mind you, hasn't it worked? Robinson was fantastic first half.
And he fully vindicated his manager's decision by scoring, and how. winning the battle with Jenkins and finding Hunt as the furthest player forward, but onside. And Vaesen, well, he made the save and then left it. And Salako finds Hunt. Salako again. And Vaesen got himself in all sorts of difficulties there by thinking the job was done when it was only half done.
Andy Hunt's first touch here, I think, just let him down, Rob.
Here's Shields. In towards Pringle.
Well, it could have been easily been 3. Hunt bursts away after good work. That touch there for me gives Vaesen a chance. Then Vaesen bounces back up. Suddenly Salako, well, he's just hopeful there. Hunt could have gone down, doesn't, and you just feel they've missed a chance for the third goal.
Well, it could have been the goal that would have wrapped it up. If Huddersfield score now, it could be a crucial miss. Is that going to be the turning point that Huddersfield are looking for as Wijnhard tries to find a way into the area?
And the home fans screaming for a corner.
They're not going to get it though, the throw-in given. And Beech taking it. Wijnhard.
Powell doesn't agree, but ironic jeers from the home fans at long last. But look at Wijnhard's arm.
Free kick given against Powell.
The referee just having a chat with her, say, just hold on, I'll get them back 10 for you.
And if Huddersfield should strike now, still perhaps an opening for them to get at least a point. As Vincent whips in the kick and it's turned in! Stewart gets his head to it, and with still 10 minutes remaining, Steve Bruce's Huddersfield have hope.
Well, it's a great ball in, but Charlton will be saying, how come Stewart gets against Shields? That's the danger. Stewart is lethal. He's against the youngster Shields, and that's a fine header. There was too much pace in the ball for the goalkeeper to come. Gets in front of Shields, gets an early leap, and Huddersfield back in it.
Stewart's 12th goal of the season. He's had a lean time of late, but Steve Bruce's side now have very real hope. We talked about the possibility of that turning point with Hunt missing the opportunity a few moments ago. Is that now going to be costly for Charlton? Brown. Now Pringle to try and kill it off. He's caught by Jenkins. And what's the referee going to do here with Steve Jenkins? He's pulling him out of the crowd. What will be the colour of the card? John Dyson is protesting on his behalf.
Well, Rob, if you think earlier when Dyson was booked, when Jenkins was the block tackle, he could have been marching now.
It's yellow.
Oh, what a finale we're in for now.
Perhaps now glad he took the rap for that earlier incident in the first half, but it's a free kick here which could be punishment enough for Huddersfield. They've only just given themselves hope in this game. Could Charlton kill them off? It's played to Brown. Dyson came out at him. Robinson, the referee had already blown a long time since before it hit the woodwork.
Well, it's a diabolical free kick, wasn't it? Brown could have been in big trouble. That was a 50-50. I thought he was going for the Huddersfield General Hospital here. What a ball to give anyone. You see the linesman's flags up already, as Robinson doesn't realise. Hit the post. Now you hear the home fans.
Quite a finale we could be in for. Huddersfield, one goal away from rescuing a point from a game that seemed beyond their reach. But Jenkins here has conceded another free kick, and he's got to be careful.
It's not been silky by any means from Huddersfield, but they don't want to lose this unbeaten at home in the league. Charlton, well, they played so well, they'll be kicking themselves now.
It's Salako with a free kick. Vincent does claim it. Only one thought in his mind to get it forward as quickly as possible. Charlton do have plenty of men back there. There wasn't too much contact with the head of Todd, but enough to get it back to Kiely.
Just wonder if Andy Todd would have been better taking Marcus Stewart at set pieces instead of the youngster Shields. It's easy to say that now, Rob, but for me it's logical.
Just getting there ahead of Dyson.
I'm saying that was a great ball in from Vincent.
Well, top Premiership action to come later for you on Sky Sports 1 and Sky Sports Extra. It's Sunderland against Manchester United in the Premiership, with our coverage starting at 7 o'clock. Free kick going through towards Wijnhard. No free kick given. And Gorre worked the opening.
Kiely's furious in goal. He is furious with his defenders. Suddenly, from being looking so solid, departure of Youds, Charlton are all over the place. Wijnhard's looking for a free kick, which is nothing. The referee's correct. Gorre comes in his right foot. And look at Kiely, furious. Gorre struggling, limping away.
Stewart. Is there enough time left for Huddersfield here to preserve their unbeaten league record at the McAlpine Stadium this season?
Well, that's a case of Charlton. Are they going to hang on now? Steve Bruce, you know, he's not the most verbal of managers, but he's out in that touchline last 5-6 minutes, screaming, barking out orders.
Goes down looking for the free kick, and again his appeals are rejected.
I tell you what, the referee's being strong here, you know. He's gone over to say to Wijnhard, any more of your nonsense, pal, you're getting the card. The home fans are giving him absolute boos and jeers. He's standing firm, this man.
Supporters clearly feel that the referee is having more of an influence on the result than some of the players out there.
What are they shouting, Rob? 2-1 to the referee.
They're going to benefit from that decision. Robinson isn't.
He's got to be careful as well, Robinson. Robinson worked so hard. It was a late challenge, but you know, 2-1 up, 5 minutes left. Just get back, defend. Never mind the linesman.
Goal that Robinson scored in the first half, worthy of winning any game, particularly a battle at the top end of this division. But is it going to be enough? It's been a dogged and spirited second half display from Huddersfield.
Well, I've just been feeling a little bit of pressure now, Alan. We think we've played so well, first 45 minutes, come on, don't throw 2 points away.
Steve Bruce's team got a point from their match on Boxing Day, but it's Charlton at the moment on course to get the maximum available from their 2 games over the Christmas weekend. Here's Donis. Dyson had stayed in the attack that time alongside Clyde Wijnhard. It's all hands to the pump now. Huddersfield mount attack after attack. Vincent's won them a throw-in off Robinson. And Jamie Vincent wants to get on with it, not surprisingly. Donis back to Vincent. Horne with the throw. Beyond Wijnhard, cleared by Richard Rufus. Beech. Horne again getting his foot in. Wijnhard hooks it across, but it's Kiely's ball.
Today's match sponsored by GMER is at the McAlpine Stadium. 17,450. 17,450.
Jenkins tussling away with Hunt. Ball beyond them towards Pringle, who's dealt with by Dyson. This is Donis. Kenny Irons. Vincent venturing forward once more. He's got away from Robinson this time. Can he take it all the way? Rufus slides in crucially.
He's unlucky, Vincent. I thought he was going to let fly with his right foot. But what about Rufus again? Coming to the rescue from Charlton. Thought he should have hit it there. Good positive run.
Jamie Vincent, who's never scored for Huddersfield, but he's put them in another position here to try and level it. Takes the corner. Irons was making a keen attempt to get there, but it's cleared. Back in the blender from Jenkins. Dyson.
And ball was shouted again on Rufus.
Vincent coming under pressure, trying to find Kenny Irons and winning the free kick.
There's all sorts of crowd noise going on here, it really is. There's all sorts of things going on off the ball. Steve Bruce just wants a free kick taken in the box. There's a Charlton player down, that's what the delay is. But earlier there was a shout for handball against Rufus. I think it's Newton who's down there. I can't imagine Rufus could have seen this. Just there. Now hit the side of his head, although his right arm was up. No way.
Now Huddersfield have been stalled for the time being, but still time for them to try and secure this equaliser as it's hit in towards Beech. Cleared to Barry Horne. Vital clearance from Brown.
Oh, Barry Horne's got to be careful. Just lashing out there, Horne. No need for that. Tough little character. He jumps. He jumps early, but have a look at the little kick out. Kicks out just there. Andy Hunt with a sore back.
Well, we're beyond the 90-minute mark, but there will be 6 minutes of stoppage time here.
Listen to the cheer from the crowd. Can they get back in it?
Well, if any sort of added time was going to deflate Charlton and encourage Huddersfield, it was that sort of allocation, and Steve Bruce now sees his team with ample opportunity to draw this match level and maybe even win it.
Yeah, they've shown the character of the manager, that's for sure. A much improved second half, whereas I'm sure Alan shielding the sun from his eyes. Must have shielded that 6-minute scoreboard as well. That's all he needs.
Brown. Here's Salako. Powell. Dyson. Got away by Horne to Salako. This is Hunt.
Just kick the ball away, he's in trouble, Rob. Sorry, Hunt. John Salako. I'm sure he just nudged the ball away.
Yeah, the yellow card is flourished to John Salako. Horne. That's Robinson. Jenkins winning the battle with Pringle, taken down well by Gorre, who's got Vincent to his left. Jamie Vincent, right across, and Powell turns it away just as Donis was closing in.
I'll tell you what, Vincent has suddenly come to life in this match. You know, a great ball in for the goal, and then putting another peach of a cross in his left foot.
Steve Bruce hoping and praying that his team, in the ample injury time that's been added on, can get a second goal. Knocked away by Salako. The throw is taken back here to Barry Horne. Still plenty of bodies in the box for Huddersfield. Headed away by Powell. Knocked back in by Vincent. Cleared by Shields and then by Hunt. And it's desperate defending in depth from Charlton, who are staying back, almost inviting Huddersfield onto them. Vincent pumps it forward.
Well, Todd and Gorre climbing together. Both jumped early.
Vaesen setting Huddersfield on their way again.
Offside. And that will give Charlton just a little breather now. Just to slow it down. Still almost 3 minutes remaining.
It's a much needed breather for Alan Kirbishley and his team.
You don't often see him lose his rag, do you? And to be fair, Steve Bruce, well, he did at Arsenal when he was at Sheffield United. He felt he had a big reason for it. It's not often you see it.
Bruce's birthday coming up. He'll be 39 on New Year's Eve, and he's hoping his team can secure him a point as an early present. They don't want to end the new year or the old century with a defeat. Here's Donis. Gorre, now Beech. Not the best of balls for Barry Horne, but he still digs it out for Jenkins. Rufus's clearance might fall here for Stewart, and he tries to pull it back, and it's pinball in the box. Donis, and still 90 seconds remaining of the added time. Beech. John Dyson. Back in there from Beech. Charlton standing firm. This is Todd.
Good play, just keeping hold of it. Just head for the corner.
It's the good old professional tactic from Salako. Now Todd. Nothing too cavalier from Charlton at this stage. Powell has to hurry the ball forward though. Pringle knocks it back.
Shocking ball given to Chris Powell. Kenny Allen's just saying sorry there if he caught him.
John Robinson for his goal alone deserves it, and sure enough has won nationwide man of the match.
It's been a much better second half for Huddersfield, but they just left it, or have they left it just too late?
Is Robinson's goal enough to win it, or could Vincent equalise so late on? He's pulled it across, but Brown gets to it.
Well, that was disappointing, Rob. Just as I was saying, had they left it too late, a big chance there for Vincent on his left foot. There's no real authority what he was going to do with the ball there.
If they can mount something here, it'll be their last chance. In towards Donis. Hunt gets it away. Anywhere will do at the moment now for Charlton. Towering header away by Steve Brown.
Look at the clock as well.
Here's Horne, one last throw of the dice perhaps. Space suddenly for Chris Beech, tries to work it through. Wijnhard goes for the spectacular, but in the end it's not going to be enough. And Charlton Athletic end the year and the 20th century with their win. A hard-earned win that's been enjoyed by their travelling fans in the end. A superb first half display in which John Robinson ran the show, setting up the first goal for Andy Hunt and scoring the second in spectacular fashion himself. But made more worrying for them in the second half when they lost Eddie Youds and Kinsella, and then Huddersfield got their act together. Robinson, a beautiful layoff for the first goal, which Hunt delivered past a disappointed Nico Vaesen, but the goalkeeper could do nothing about that. A really special strike from Robinson. But despite losing Craig Armstrong with concussion, Huddersfield struck back through Marcus Stewart and made it an anxious last few minutes, last 6 minutes of stoppage time for the home team. But finally their unbeaten league record here is broken. It's finished Huddersfield 1, Charlton 2.
Thank you, Rob. Thrilling finale, and there is a lot more sporting action to come today. Over on Sky Sports 1 now, there's a soccer special previewing all today's games and keeping you up to date throughout the afternoon with all the latest scores from around the country. And from 7 live Premiership football, Sunderland against Manchester United. On Sky Sports 2 now, live international cricket, day 3 of the third test between South Africa and England. England doing very well. On Sky Sports 3 next, live darts, day 1 of the 2000 World Championship. And for Sky Digital viewers, coming up on Sky Sports Extra next, you can catch highlights from day 3 of the second test between Australia and India, followed at 7 tonight by live and interactive coverage of the match between Sunderland and Manchester United. Let's take a look at the top of the First Division. Manchester City playing Grimsby later this afternoon. Huddersfield stay second, but Charlton are now level on points with them. They have a game in hand as well. Huddersfield's goal difference is marginally better. Terrific result as far as Alan Kirbishley and co are concerned. Peter Jackson and Nigel Spatman have been with me throughout the afternoon. It was a frantic finale for the Londoners, but they deserved it in the end, didn't they? Yeah, they deserved it. You know, they were coasting the game really at 2-0. They had a chance to make it 3-0. They go down the pitch, Huddersfield, and Marcus Stewart gets a goal, and really that was game on them. But I felt Charlton in full control of the game up until the last 10-15 minutes until Huddersfield scored. And what will Huddersfield make of the game as a whole? Certainly in the first half, there was something very wrong with them, wasn't there?
There was, but it was that Charlton started so brightly and they wanted the game more in the first half. They pressed further up the park, didn't give them time on the ball, and really for half an hour dominated the game. Then got the goal, and then went on and got the second goal. But, you know, I think Charlton are a good side away from home. There's not so much pressure, and they're a good footballing team. They move it around well. Obviously, Huddersfield had their problems with flu, with injuries, and obviously so did Charlton in the second half with Kinsella and Youds having to come off. But overall, I think Charlton deserved it, and that record at home for Huddersfield had to go at some point, and it was against a good side today. Excellent. Nigel, Peter, thank you very much indeed for your coverage. That is it for us in the 1990s. We'll see you early in the next century. For now, from us all, Happy New Year. Goodbye.